Hello everyone, welcome to today's podcast. I am Amanina and I'm joined by LEYXORRA YUHANIS and CHOW. Today we'll be discussing a topic that affects all of us, especially students and future educators, which is misinformation and responsible communication. Every day we scroll through social media, we watch videos, read news, and even use AI tools. Information reaches us within seconds, but not everything we hear or see is accurate. That is why knowing how to communicate responsibly with the information we receive is becoming just as important as having access to information.
I do agree with you, Amanina. Nowadays, as we know, technology has made our communication more easy than before, and thus we can connect with people, maybe our family or our friends from different countries, cultures, or even from different backgrounds for instantly. And this creates many opportunities, but also means false information can spread just very quickly.
Yeah, that's true. As future educators will eventually become the sources of information ourselves. People may trust us what we say. So that is important that we should communicate more carefully, effectively, respectfully, and ethically.
Alright, we begin with a simple question. When people hear the word misinformation, what does it actually mean? What do you think, LEYXORRA?
So, beyond my understanding, this misinformation refers to inaccurate information or that is shared without realizing it's incorrect. And so sometimes people forward messages, maybe from WhatsApp, Telegram, or Instagram, because they believe they are helping others. But the plot twist is they didn't even check whether the information is true or not. That's not ethical and professional.
I agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's misinformation. You also got to know about disinformation. So which is false information that is spread intentionally to mislead people. Although both of this word is different, but it can create confusion and misunderstanding for others. For me, trust alone isn't enough. We should always verify information before sharing it. In fact, there's a UNESCO survey in 2024 found out that many digital content creators, or we also call as influencer, but do not consistently fact check the information before they're sharing it, especially on their social media. So this is show how misinformation can spread when people share without verification. Sometimes they did that for attention from the citizen, and they gain followers from it. So Chow, what do you think about it? Did we understand more?
Yeah, I agree with you. Besides, I think that another reason misinformation spread so quickly is that people often trust the information that shares by someone they are close to them, like family members, friends, or the social media influencer. When information comes from someone we know or the people that are close to us, we may be not questioning to the information they share to us and just share to others without verifying. So many people assume that information that shares by people they are close or they know to it must be reliable. As the result, they may forward message to others without verifying, and this cause unintentionally contribute to the spread of misinformation. For example, message that shared in family WhatsApp groups often pass from one person to another very quickly. Even if the information is inaccurate, people may just forward to others the message because they believe that this message will help others. this is show that how trust can sometimes influence our judgment and make misinformation spread increasingly.
What a great point of view, Chow. So I do agree with you what you have shared just now, and I think I can relate it with our emotion, which can influence our decisions. When a postman is angry, frightened, or excited, for example, I could say we're more likely to share it immediately instead of thinking critically. Being honest, I've done it before when I was Form 1. I know it was an immature act, and I learned it after I got scolded from my lecture from my friends for hours. I need to thank her, by the way. And all this remind me of an ode that's said from a famous author called Alex Edmonds. Alex Edmonds, author of The May Contain Lies 2024. People should question claims and evidence rather than accepting information at face value, which teaches us to think critically before believing or sharing the information. Got it, Chow?
Yeah, that's true. I think the COVID-19 pandemic is a good example to show that how misinformation can become. Do you guys remember the health-related rumors that circulated online during that time? Yeah, so I remember receiving different messages almost every day, especially through the social media and WhatsApp groups from my family. Some messages claim to provide help at once, while others spread the rumors, confusion and anxiety among the public. Yeah. So in fact, sebenarnya .my had already debunked 187 pieces of COVID-19 misinformation by March 2020. To me, that shows that how quickly misinformation can spread when people share information before checking the accurate at the first. So it also reminds us that we should think critically before believing the information what others share, so that we can
verify the accuracy.
Yeah, verify the accuracy and also lower down the misinformation.
I think both of your opinion just now is true. Misinformation is referred to false or inaccurate information shared without the intention to deceive by LEYXORRA et al. 2023. During the pandemic, as Chow mentioned earlier, many fake health tips circulated online. Some people believe those messages simply because they came from family members or friends. Most of them don't even know the accuracy of the information and just continuously sharing it to others. I also believe that thinking critically before trusting online resources and sharing it is very important. So, misinformation spreads so easily. What does responsible communication actually look like?
That's a really good question. For me, responsible communication means that thinking carefully before we share any information to others. It is not about expressing our own opinions, but also about making sure that the communication is accurate, respectful, and helpful to others. So, in today's digital world, information can spread within seconds, and even as simple as a message can influence many people. Because of this, we need to be more aware of the impact of our words and action online. By communicating responsibly, we can reduce misinformation, build trust, and create a more positive environment to discuss.
Yeah, that's right, Chow. And I completely agree with you. Responsible communication isn't only about sharing accurate information, but it is also the way we communicate with others. And we need to, or in today's digital world, people come from different backgrounds, cultures, and perspectives, as I shared earlier. And therefore, responsible communication requires respect, empathy, and understanding. Even when we disagree with someone, even that someone is we hate, we should listen carefully to their opinion instead of immediately criticizing or judging them. By doing so, we create opportunities for meaningful discussion and mutual learning. Responding politely helps prevent misunderstanding or conflict and reduce conflict, especially on social media where messages can easily be misinterpreted. As Professor Dugan Sabansi in 2023 stated, effective communications begin with generous listening, which promotes communication. It's not only about expressing our views, promote understanding, empathy, and genuine human connection. It shows that responsible communication is not only expressing our views, but also about respecting and understanding the perspective of others when they're expressing their opinions. Therefore, we should think before we speak, listen with an open mind, and communicate in a way that will trust and strengthen the relationship.
Yeah, that is especially important because we communicate with people from different culture and background, just like LEYXORRA said just now. In today's globalized world, individuals frequently interact with people who have different language, belief, value, and cultural practice. Therefore, using polite and respectful language is essential to prevent misunderstanding and foster positive relationship. Effective intercultural communication enables individuals to appreciate diverse perspectives, demonstrate respect for cultural differences, and adapt their communication style to various social contexts. According to UNESCO, intercultural dialogue promotes mutual understanding, trust, and social cohesion among diverse communities. Furthermore, cultural differences can influence how messages are interpreted. Therefore, culturally sensitive and respectful communication help reduce conflicts and enhance the effectiveness of information exchange.
Yeah, exactly. So sometimes misunderstanding do not happen because someone is wrong. They happen because people have different cultural perspective in all communicate style. What is considered respectful in one culture may be understood differently in others. So, responsible communication requires us to open-minded and respectful of diverse viewpoints. As Russell Dogan 2023 emphasized, generous listening helps people understand others without judging them too quickly when they shout out their opinions and views. By listening carefully and responding respectfully, we can reduce misunderstanding, build a stronger relationship, and create a more meaningful communication in our diverse society. Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you, Chow. Can I add some examples? Okay, for example, certain expression or jokes might be acceptable in one culture but offensive in others. And that's why language competence includes more than vocabulary or grammar. It is involved understanding people, their values and their cultural backgrounds. When we're communicating with others, we need to be aware that different culture may have different way of expressing ideas, showing respect or handling disagreements. Yeah. By being sensitive to this difference, we can avoid misunderstanding and build stronger relationship with the community. Especially in Malaysia, we have a very diversity culture. And this idea is supported by UNESCO Director General Audrey Azoulay in 2024, who emphasized that intercultural understanding and respect for diversity are essentials for promoting dialogue and peaceful coexistence in an increasingly connected world. In my opinion, this shows that effective communication is not only about speaking correctly, but also about understanding and respecting the perspective of others.
I like that idea. Good communication helps people feel respected even when they have different opinions. Now, let's talk about language skill. How do listening, speaking, and reading and also writing help us deal with this misinformation problem? Do you want to go first?
Can I go first?
Yes, you can.
Okay, pardon me. So I think reading is one of the most important skills when dealing with misinformation. And strong reading skill help us evaluate information carefully instead of relying only on headlines or short social media posts. So by reading beyond the title, we can better understand the context, identify the broader purpose, or determine whether the information are supported by reliable evidence. And this is especially important in today's digital age, where misleading content can spread quickly and influence the public opinion. So the effective reading encourages critical thinking, in my opinion, and it allows us to compare the different sources, recognize bias, and distinguish fact from opinions. As the UNESCO Director General Audrey Azoulay in 2023, the same person emphasized the media and information literacy empowers individuals to think critically and make informed decisions is an increasingly complex information environment. Therefore, strong reading skills are essential for becoming responsible and informed digital citizens.
Listening is equally important too. Active listening can help us to understand another person's viewpoint before responding to it. According to Rahman from UNESCO, stated that media and information literacy is essential for evaluating information credibility and engaging responsibly with digital content. That shows that how listening and reading skills will help us become more informed communications.
That is true. What the two of you saying just now is so true. I agree. Responsible communication begin with listening. When we take time to listen carefully, we we can better understand other people's idea without judging them first. Their ideas, feelings, and perspective. This can help us respond thoughtfully rather than reacting too quickly, like judging the cover of a book, any book. A good listening also reduce misunderstandings, can build trust also, and encourage more meaningful conversations. In a world where people often focus on expressing their own opinion, being a good listener is as important as part of becoming a responsible communicator.
That's right, Amanina. So speaking responsibly is also important because our word can influence others. If we are unsure about something, it's better to say I'm not certain, rather than presenting the assumption as fact.
Yeah, and writing requires the same responsibly. So whether we are posting on social media or sending any messages to others in group or just private message, we should think carefully about the accuracy and impact of our words to others. So as a future educators, these communication skills are very important because the students may rely on us for information and guidance.
That's right.
As a future educators, we will use all the language skills every day. Students may rely on us to explain ideas clearly, answering questions accurately, and encourage respectful discussion.
Yeah, that's why developing communication skills now is so important and it prepares us to guide others responsibly.
Before we end our discussion for today, let's share some practical ways to communicate responsibly. Chow, do you wanna go first?
Yeah, so firstly, we should consider the impact of our words before sharing any information or any opinions, because sometimes emotions can influence our decisions and cause us to react too quickly without thinking of it. Taking a moment to think before posting any messages or information can help us to communicate more responsibly and avoid spreading misinformation to others. So before sharing a message, we should ask ourselves whether the information is accurate, respectful, and beneficial to others. Even a simple post or comment can influence how people think and respond in that situation. So by being more mindful of our words that we use, we can reduce misunderstanding and contribute to a more positive and informative communities and environments.
Thank you, Chow, for your opinion. And my approach is to compare the information from several trusted and reliable sources instead of depending only a single social media post. This is important because we need to verify the information from different sources, and other than that, we also need to check the content on platform like TikTok or other short videos can sometimes be incomplete, so out of context or based on personal experience that may not represent the full situation. So we cannot judge from the short video or post. Yeah. So by checking multiple sources as official websites, travel blogs, reviews from different users and verified booking platform, I can get a more accurate and balanced understanding. Yeah, and this have been available details like actual conditions of the accommodation, location, accuracy, facilities provided, pricing, and overall guest experience. Doing this also reduce the risk of misinformation and helps me make more better decisions, especially when planning trips or choosing places to stay. So in the end, relying on a wider range of information leads to more confident and informed choices rather than being influenced by just one post or opinion.
That's a good strategy. The World Health Organization in 2024 described an infodemic as an overabundance of information, including false or misleading information during the emergency. Therefore, responsible communication is essential to prevent confusion and help people make informed decisions.
So, and besides that, an important habit that we should practice is respecting different opinions from others. We do not always have to agree others' opinions, but we should remain polite and open-minded during the discussion. UNESCO in 2025 highlight that the importance of engaging critically with information and communicating responsibly in digital environments. By respecting others' viewpoints, we can promote more meaningful and constructive communication.
Yeah, and finally, if we discover we've shared incorrect information, we should admit the mistake and correct it instead of ignoring it. Okay, guys?
I understand and I really agree. I think that is a sign of responsibility and integrity in a person.
Yeah, that's right.
As we wrap up today's discussion, we have learned that communication is much more than just exchanging information. It's about building real trust, showing respect to others, and making thoughtful decisions before we share what we know. When we take a moment to think before we speak or post, we actually help create a more positive and meaningful way of connection with each others.
Yeah, that's right, Amalina. And in today's fast-moving and highly connected world, every message we send has the power to reach far and wide in just seconds. So that's why skills like critical thinking, active listening, and responsible speaking are more important than ever nowadays. And we use this skill, we not only protect ourselves from misinformation, but also help others stay informed in a clearer and more accurate way.
Yeah, whether we are students or future educators, leaders or professionals tomorrow, our words will always carry influence to others. The way we communicate with others can shape opinions, build trust, and even inspire positive change. By choosing to communicate responsibly, we can play a part in reducing misinformation and building stronger, larger, and more informed communities that benefit to others.
That's right. So, as we end today's podcast, we'd like to say a big thank you for listening and being a part of this conversation with us. We hope today's sharings encourage you to pause, reflect, and verify, and think carefully before you share anything. Remember, responsible communication starts with each one of us, and small actions can make a big difference. That's all. Thank you and bye.